For the last several years, which coincides with his health going to crap, Donald Trump has been talking more and more about the afterlife, about getting into heaven, and about religion in general. This past weekend, of course, we had the Rededicate 250. Franklin Graham came out making a total fool of himself, basically bastardizing American version of Christianity. But Donald Trump was asked about that this week, and his response made it seem like he seems to know his time on this earth is running short. I'll tell you what Trump said in just a moment, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. One of the easiest ways to keep people misinformed is not by hiding the story completely. It's by keeping the story visible while shifting everyone's attention to the least important part of it. You can see that in this Virginia congressional map case now heading to the Supreme Court. Some outlets are covering the actual issue, whether a voter-approved redistricting plan can be restored. Others are making the story about spelling mistakes in the filing like that's somehow the real thing people should care about. Same event, same facts, but a completely different sense of what matters and what doesn't. That's why I recommend Ground News. It's a website and app that pulls together reporting from across the political spectrum so you can compare headlines side by side, see the bias distribution of the coverage, check the factual ratings of the sources, and even see who owns the outlets behind the reporting. What I like about it is that it helps you catch when coverage is being used to distract instead of inform. You can see which outlets are focusing on the substance, which ones are pushing a narrative, and which ones are steering people away from the real issue entirely. Ground News also has a blind spot feed which highlights stories that are being underreported by one side of the political spectrum. That's especially useful if you want to know not just how a story is being covered, but which stories your usual media bubble may be skipping altogether. You can also personalize your feed by interest so it's easier to keep up with issues you actually care about. So go to ground.news/Farron or scan my QR code. Using my link gets you 40% off the Ground News Vantage plan, and you can also gift a subscription directly through Ground News. I see Ground News as one of the best ways to consume news, and I definitely recommend checking it out.
I think religion is very important for a country. I think this country was built largely on religion, if you look. It was built so. And when you have strong religion, you have less crime. It's just a fact. You know, whatever it may be, it's like, gee, I want to go to heaven, so I'm not going to do this or that. Who knows? But we have a country that was based on religion, and I'm very proud of that. And if you look and you see all of the polling, I mean, polling is so fake. But on this, it's not fake. Religion is really going up in the last year.
So when reporters asked Donald Trump about, the religious event this past weekend, your religion, here is what a visibly dying Donald Trump had to say. I think religion's very important for a country. This country was built largely on religion. When you have strong religion, you have less crime. It's just a fact. Whatever it may be, it's like, gee, I want to go to heaven, so I'm not going to do this or that. Who knows? Religion is a good thing. Christianity is the great thing for our country, the great thing for our country. The successes that we've had have been based on Christianity and religion. I'm very proud of that. Religion is taking off like our country is taking off. Our country is hotter now than it's ever been, and I'll tell you, religion is making a tremendous comeback. You look at churches today, they're full. You go back 2 or 3 years, nobody was going. Oh, frick. That is a lot of lies to have to debunk. No, in fact, a country's crime rate is in no way related to their religious service attendance rates. In fact, a lot of the countries that have the highest weekly religious service attendance rates also have the highest crime rates. So that's completely false, that the more religion you have, the less crime you have. Nope. Why don't you go open your windows and look out into the friggin' world, bud? You don't even have to look up statistics on that. But anyway, you should, because they're there. Also, gee, I want to get into heaven, so maybe I won't do this or that. If that is your way of thinking, which you have repeatedly said over the last year and a half that you do desperately want to get into heaven, you've sent out fundraising emails saying, I want to get into heaven, you sure are breaking a lot of commandments. Not just right now, but also all throughout your life. And for somebody who never attends church service, which we can assume means you have not atoned for any of your sins, you have a 0% chance of making it into heaven based solely on what religion teaches us. If you ain't sorry, which you're not, you can't go. So you can go ahead and kiss those hopes and dreams of making it to heaven goodbye because they're dumb. Done and dumb. That was a great little Freudian slip there. But also, religion's making a tremendous comeback in our country. Religion, he says, is taking off like America is taking off. And he's actually right about that. Because over the last 20 years, church attendance in the United States has dropped by 12%. So church attendance is going down, just like America's going down. Taking off doesn't have to mean going up. We can take off and go straight down, which we did with the economy, with weekly religious service attendance. They're both going in the same direction. So technically, he was not wrong about that. But I will never not find it disgusting that reporters with a straight face look at this man who has never been religious in his life. He is not religious now. And ask him questions about religion, expecting him to give some kind of comprehensible, answer. He knows nothing of it. He's not a religious guy. And guess what? There's actually nothing wrong with not being religious. The problem is when you're not religious, but pretend to be for personal gain. And based on my upbringing as a staunch Catholic, I can tell you, the good book's got quite a few things to say about things like that. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.